is you don't have to do that work. But if you decide to do that work by yourself, that means that in the night, after you close from your 9 to 5, you also do my 9 to 5 in addition and be assessing the vendors. There are also other parts that can also stress you out. So I'll just talk about just these few things so not to take too much time. So when it comes to stress, maybe we always just say, oh, to take stress, this is what we mean by the stress. When we break it further into detail, and trust me, when you're planning a wedding, it comes in stages. It doesn't happen at once. It's a gradual thing. Sometimes this time you're experiencing health, the next time you're experiencing decision-making fatigue, next time you're experiencing arguments with daddy and mommy. It's a gradual process. So
that you should, and the traits as well: timeliness, professionalism, responsiveness. One reason why I believe that there's growth, I'm very responsive to emails, to calls. If I can't pick up your call, I'll text you. Unfortunately, I'm in a meeting. Can I call you back? I'll call you back so time. So it's, professionalism, the traits I'm now recalling: professionalism, timeliness. Are they on time to meetings? Do they have your back as well? So you need to look at all those traits before you go ahead to book the planner. As a planner booking, even if you come to me now, I've gotten to that point. I could say no to a client because maybe they are rude. In the first engagement with them, you know that they are rude. They don't have consideration.
That is how you be able to tell if somebody is good at what they do. But if you limit it to only the experience, most of them only associate it with years, and they leave out, or followers, and they leave out the knowledge, and that is what you actually need.
Okay. We'll try and touch on that one. How many years and followers? But Irabna, do you have anything to add to personality?
Yes. Like she said, what I'll say is, when you meet somebody, I think it's something we all have. When you meet someone, you can tell if you get along with the person or not. If you don't think you will get insurance.
Oh, I don't have insurance, but it's something that I am thinking of getting, because, like I said, I work with a lot of international clients. But one thing is your contract.
But do you need insurance if you're just working with international?
You do, because sometimes the client might, if something was to go wrong on the day of the event, they might put the liability on the planner.
But how about if it's a local bride?
Well, even same.
So that's what I'm asking. So in general, insurance is a conversation that must be had, right? It's there. I don't know if there's any insurance company that's offering a product that's catered to, yeah.
But you can.
That one is Kong.
Limited liability clause in your contract. Liability clause in your contract. So as a planner, your contract needs to be tight, and you need to be constantly reviewing your contract. What you had last year might not work for this year. So limited liability is very important, that you're only liable for the part that you have played if anything was to go wrong. But the client now can't put the whole mess of their day being ruined on the planner. Yeah.
So please make sure you let your clients also tell them to read the contract that you have shared with them, because it's important that they do so. Rita, it's not done.
Rita, you're not done?
So I asked that because sometimes we reference the invoices to the planners and not in the name of the client. So an intelligent client can just come after you, the planner. So maybe most of the times, and then some of the contracts are summarized under the invoices. Those are like terms and conditions of service. So you just forward it straight to the city rises.
Right. I think it's a very important point you make, and it just means that this whole thing about insurance is a conversation that must be had, because then you need legal people to come in and say, okay, if this is how it's going to work, when you are invoicing elated, you need to put elated and CC the couple name. I don't know, but that's a very, very important thing, and hopefully we can take it up in the event space and see if there's an insurance company that can sit at the table to have these discussions.
Yes, and before it's forgotten, you mentioned that trust your planner, right? I know that there may be experiences. Some people may have experiences of planners trying to.
That's true, but these are not the planners.
Exactly.
I know where you were going to go.
Exactly.
But it's true. So I mean, make sure that you're hiring the right person, because some people, they're doing your event for you because you don't hire the right person. That's how come things like that will happen. They are getting you chairs. The chair is 10 CDs. They'll give it to you at 15 or 20 CDs. So, so you see that those are the issues. But if you and then that's why you also need to understand that you have to pay your planner the fee.
That's
And sometimes when you, and the reason why people do that as well is because you don't understand the reason why, and you're planning keke na oye. No, that is my whole job.
Yes.
Do you understand? So you must pay me what I mean, those have been put together because that is what the fee that you're supposed to pay. If it's something that you cannot and you want to use another person, it's fine.
And I like that you said that. Once you get that trusted planner, don't go behind the planner. Because if you come to some of us, you get the higher rate.
Yes, that's true.
And then you go back to the planner to come and see us to talk about it. And I'll tell the planner, oh, was that your client? No, hold it where I told the client. Right? So that then you understand that she was actually helping. Because they have a relationship with us, like they said. So let's keep that. Number 3, right?
Did you,
Yes.
Hi. So I have this scenario. So let's take it that you have a client who's outside Ghana, and maybe a family member recommended your service, but that family, that member is in Ghana here. So how are you guys able to run it? How are you guys able to manage the planning process? Because in this case, the family member in Ghana wants to be involved in everything. How are you? Because we are Ghanaians, we know the Ghanaian culture and how it is sometimes.
So let's break it down so we understand. The Auntie Agatha knows Ebony, and she wants Ebony to do your wedding, and you don't live here, you live in the UK, and Auntie Agatha wants to be involved in every process of the wedding. So I think it's simple, but let Ebony answer
Yes.
that.
Okay, so for me, it goes back to my contract. It's clearly stated in my contract that I am dealing with the couple. However, if the couple wants this third party involved, I will discuss it with the couple again, because there are certain things a third party shouldn't know about. So for instance, your auntie, again, and then you've decided you're going to spend 1 million cedis on your wedding. Do you want your auntie to know you can afford to spend 1 million cedis on your wedding? No.
So I think it and then, you know, sometimes, especially when you're dealing with the aunties, the older people in your family that you love and they truly love you, you have to find a fine balance between talking about contracts which they don't give any a hoot about. You have to find a matured way to deal with them. So for example, if you agree with your planner, listen, my auntie recommended you, I'm happy to work with you, but I don't want them to have this information. You can have a WhatsApp group, for example, where you are there, the auntie is also there, and auntie is part of colors. Then that's where you do all of those. But then the rest of the information, but then you should really be talking to make sure that.
But sometimes in certain cases, the clients, they feel like it's my auntie. Even if you are trying to explain to them that it doesn't have to work that way. They don't necessarily have to be involved in certain, because sometimes they are going to be asking questions. Why does my niece want to spend this amount of money? But the thing is that you're not the one paying, you're not contributing. You're not the one paying it. But they still don't want to.
That one is your auntie. So we will work with your auntie the way that you know is best. Do you understand?
Yeah, but it really causes a lot of.
I know these things. Some of them
it's
we can
really
solve them
crazy.
easily. Some of them we need prayer.
Okay, explain further. The decorator is doing some part of the job, and then the decorator assigned the client to go and look for the rest of the items that she doesn't have. Literally, the whole point is, I think she's into rent house. Now, she wants to do the decosam. So what I don't have, you go and look for it. So you go and look for your own dance floor. She had to go and look for her own backdrop, vendor for backdrop. vendor for lighting, vendor for glassware. Do you get it? And then even the grass carpet, she wanted to rent from a specific place. It was an event in December. Shamadina traffic. She wanted to go and rent from Dome. Grass carpet. I'm like, so the whole of Medina, I shall betray that you can't get grass carpet from there. No, she wanted from that place. So I was like, okay. And the cat were. So I was like, okay, this is a bit strange. Like, the way everything is scattered. So how much money has gone? How much? It was so all over the place. So I said, okay, now let's put everything together. Give me who is giving you backdrop and give me everybody's, whatever they are giving to you. Then I said, okay, show me your wedding the decor inspiration. And I said, okay, show me the person's, page. Let me check something. Then I asked her, look at your decor inspiration, look at the person's page. Can the person deliver? You now ask yourself. So I was like, how did you find?
But some people don't post all their things on their page.
But you can see traces. You can see traces, And sometimes, maybe, I don't know, because we are in the field, when we see Pinterest picture, we know it's Pinterest picture. Like, we see the one that is your job and we see the one that is not your job. We can tell. I'm sorry, but it's our job, and sorry. So I was like, okay, show me. Then I asked her, can you now check? Can you see, can this person deliver this vision for you? Then I advised her that, you know what, she has already messed you up. And the challenge too is that the creator was also not forthcoming. She was like, anytime they don't understand something they ask her, then she gets angry. Why are you asking me? Are you a decorator? Do you know better than me? I'm like, that is another red flag for you. And you are getting married in December. And you are getting married. And it was the same day ceremony, engagement in the morning, church, Oko Pentecost. And this is your vendor for decor. So I was like, okay, you know what? Get someone for the reception decor. Then let her handle the engagement. Because we've already paid her. The lady says no. If she's not the one doing the whole thing, no. And the money too, she's not refunding.
Oh, wow. So how did you resolve it?
Then she said that she should go and look at her contract agreement. Like I said, because she's into rentals, her contract agreement was reflecting rental stuff. So that decor thing was not there. Now I had to find lawyers. Because I had read it to understand to a certain level. So I had to find a lawyer to also read and let me know whether I am right or I am wrong. So then, and at that point, the lady has no. So even if you don't even have money for a lawyer at that time, so I had to use my friends in the law firm. Please, do you have a friend who can read this for me? Then I sent it to my lawyer. Please read through for me, okay? Then I had the chance. One lawyer was willing to be on the court. I had lectures. I had to leave class so that I can be in that meeting for the lawyer to explain the thing to us and the couple. My colleague was there. Every now and then, so we will be able to know how to resolve the issue. It was so scattered. So the lawyer sent an email to her. That was when she released some of the money. And then the items she bought, she was like, you should come and collect the things that she has bought to her. Flowers 12, she'll give them 7.
You see, it all boils down to hiring the right person.
Yes. No, her situation was she didn't have a planner at all.
Yes.
So if she had a planner, at least some of these things would have been pure red flags, and then the person would have look at as far as getting to lawyers. That is serious.
It's because you see, sometimes you think the whole planning thing, it's easy. So you're going around all these people, and I mean, this is a classic example of what can happen. Thank you very much, Portia. Let's go to Temi. Temi, let's have your take on what can go wrong if you don't hire.
I was going to bring up the contingency plan. It's important to have a contingency plan in place because if, for example, it rains and you know that it's going to rain, you should have a plan B, okay? Or you have your guest numbers is going to increase, have a plan B. Get extra chairs. And that's the reason why you should get a planner and a coordinator. Because if the guest number increases, the planner can quickly call someone, bring extra chairs in case like you're in the ceremony and you're moving to the reception. get extra chairs. So there's a lot that can go wrong if you don't have a planner, no one to step in when things go wrong. But when you have a planner, the planner foresees the trouble ahead. I had a scenario like different. I did coordination. And again, looking at the detail, because they didn't have a planner, they did all the planning themselves. I looked at the details of the vendor list, where the location is, and I quickly said, you need to have, it's rainy no, it rains a lot in Ibri. You need to have a plan B for rain. No, if it rains, we'll just move to the next day. And I was like, how do you move an event to the next day? I kept on asking, how do you move there? They'll just come the next day. Oh, our guest is from foreign. We'll move it to the next day. If you listen to if you had the planner, you booked me from beginning, I would have said, no, we're not going to have this design. This design is a no-no. We're going to have this kind of... So your planner is actually working with the decorator, working with the plans that you have to ensure that it fits in to the whole thing on the day. So if you had a planner at the beginning, you are able to rectify all these things that can go wrong.
Thank you, Temi. Thank you, Temi. And you know, sometimes the things that the plan B can be something that has a cost to it, but you need to have, like having a standby generator. You never know. Maybe there would be no doom, or it's not doom. So what is it? Light off. So, but then having a standby generator is important. It will be something you pay for, but you may not use. But in case the lights went off, you would realize how important that is. So we're going to hear from Pretty Arabna, give us her take, and then we're going to be done with the session.
Okay, I think, like Dedo said, it all boils down to hiring the right planner. I can tell you for a fact, I believe we have some planners in here, and then we have some clients in here. Now, not everybody is a planner. That's literally the bottom line. We have brides we finish working with, and they think, scanner me too, I can do it myself. And then they open a planning business, forgetting that the planning is not just what we showed you on the Google Sheets, tracking payments, and it was for your event. Every event is different. So hiring the right planner, yes. To your question, not everybody will be able to afford a planner, because to be honest, planners are expensive. Unless you are not hiring a correct planner, planners are expensive. So not everybody will be able to hire a planner. However, they may go in for a coordinator, and then, they will consult with a planner 1 or 2 times, and then come in for a coordinator. So it won't be very fair to say, I only work with planners. There are vendors who say they only work with planners. But guess what? All the planners offer coordination only services. So it's okay for somebody to hire a coordinator. Back to backup plans, again, unless you are not hiring a correct planner, most of us correct planners are able to have backup plans for literally every service on the vendor list. There are times where a vendor does not show up. If you are not hiring a correct planner, they cannot, apart from food. Even food, I've had a situation where they called me the morning of the event. They changed the dates. They didn't have a planner. They didn't have a coordinator. So a friend who is a vendor calls me and says they forgot to tell the caterer they had changed the date. So they called the caterer, and he said, no, he's not here. And he said, no, this is the date you gave me. You didn't give. So here I am sitting down, and they are calling me, even though they weren't paying me. It became a headache, because I'm like, God have mercy, because it was like a high-profile person's event. So first, I told them, at this point, it's still early. Let's call different restaurants. And then
my name has been Dave Lamptey. I'll leave you for now, but I'm sure I'll see you again. Let's connect. The exhibition also goes on. Let's make sure we take part in everything. Thank you all so very much.